To order today, Wednesday, September 10th. It is 4:47 p.m. Hammond City Council Chambers. Can we get a verification of meeting notice?
Yes, it was posted here at our office and online 24 hours in advance.
All right. Roll call.
Todd DeLon, Chance Kinchin,
Here.
Mary Gito,
Here.
Kayla Morgan, I was about
Here.
to say Mary again, John Exnicius.
Here.
Okay. No amendments that I know of. Michelle, do you have any amendments?
No amendments.
Okay, let's take a look at the minutes from August 13th, 2025. Does anybody have anything to say about these? Are we good?
We're good.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes.
I would second that.
All right, John Exnicius,
Yes.
Mary Gito,
Yes.
Todd DeLon, Chance Kinchin,
Yes.
Kayla Morgan.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, financial statement. Let's take a look at that.
Michelle, do you have anything to say about the financial statement?
Just two things of note for our loans. We have two that are in completion with just one or two payments left. You'll see those down on the application of the financial statement. And overall, you'll see more expenses for this month because it is reflective of hot August, and we will be reviewing the pool event budget later on in the agenda for hot August. But other than that, everything else is pretty standard.
All right. Can I get a motion to,
Approve the financial statement. I make a motion to approve the financial statement.
I'll second.
John Exnicius,
yes.
Chance Kinchin,
Yes.
Mary Gito,
Yes.
Kayla Morgan,
Yes.
Todd DeLon.
All right, director's report.
Michelle?
Hi everybody, I'm on my way to Destination Downtown Conference, up in El Dorado, Arkansas, so I'm calling in and hopefully this continues to work. But just kind of keep things brief, we really for most of August had a lot of our time and energy dedicated towards that event, but of course we still have other things underway. If you scroll all the way down to my report, you'll actually see basically line out and other activities lined out for the rest of the year, September through December.
I pulled it up on the
It's
TV as well.
Okay, thank you. About 15 commitments lined up between now and December, most of them being our events. We're high time into event season right now. So obviously those things are kind of taking precedence in addition to the office closures that I have listed there.
Is that everything?
Okay.
I want to bring all that to full attention. My end, my economic
You're breaking up.
Hey, you're breaking up pretty good. It's like you're cut up. I'm hearing like half of what you're saying.
Can you hear me?
I mean, yeah, sort of. Keep talking.
My goal is to complete my economic development certification by the end of this year. I have one more course to complete, which I'll be doing in October. So this will update you all on that. A lot of these affiliated projects with the city, we have been looking into design committee. So we will talk about that later on the agenda as well. This Saturday, we have the Big Bad Group podcast filming their content in downtown for a day and night in downtown video. So that's kind of the biggest updates I have on my end.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything to say about that? All right. Next up, staff reports.
So like Kayla said, Dara is out, so we don't have a staff report from her right now. But for me, I'll be brief. I've been mainly we've been recovering from hot August and regrouping after that. But I've also been filing our sales tax because we now have to do sales tax stuff, so we have to file reports monthly. So I did that. I'll finish the one for August tomorrow and submit that one. And then other things I've been helping to do is just assist with our upcoming events and stuff like that, and planning. Today I went and got all of our bags from Tangi Tourism for the road home next weekend, so that's done. And then tomorrow and possibly Friday, depending how long it takes, which Chance, I need to ask you about this as well. Katie LeBreton, who's with the Big Bad Boot podcast, she is reached out to us about reaching out to restaurant owners who would be willing to put little table tents out to promote a play that's coming to the Columbia for like one night. It's called Waitress, so I think they specifically wanted to go to restaurants. So are you interested in?
Well, I'm interested in learning about it. I know I was out of town.
It's just it's
a Broadway play.
It's a Broadway play that they're
musical.
bringing to Columbia for one night, and so they're just trying to promote it. So
Yeah.
they want to put table tents out at
Is
restaurants.
Katie in it?
I don't know if she's in it.
It's, I
She's
think
a-
it's an outside group performing it.
I think she is in it.
Oh, is
She was a
she?
tree
Yeah.
one year and
I think
something.
she's on the marketing committee.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. She is on the committee, but she didn't say anything about being in it, but she might be.
Okay,
in it.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so she just asked if we could assist in that. So since you are a restaurant owner, I figured I'd ask you face to face, but I'll be calling other restaurant owners.
No, we'll take care of that. Well, that's fine. I know
Just
we
ask for a
didn't,
list of,
yeah, I mean, that's fine. Are we going with just table tents or we're going to do posters?
just table tents. They just are going, and they have them printed, and they're probably going to bring them around next
It
week.
might even be better, instead of table tents, it might be better to have cards to put into the guest checks.
I think
Be
they,
presented with the receipt.
I think they already have the table tents printed, though.
Okay.
She said that.
Well, they might be cut to the right size. We'll figure it out. That's no problem.
Okay. And then Michelle, I need to get with you on this too to see if you want anything else included in the merchant newsletter, but I'll be sending out one either tomorrow or Friday, just giving all the dates for our upcoming events and things like that. But that's pretty much all I have. So we can move on to,
Marketing?
Yep.
All right, marketing committee, Kayla.
Okay, so we met yesterday. We didn't have a quorum, but we did get quite a few things done. So we did a little bit of a hot August stroll marketing recap, which I think is going to probably have a bigger conversation later. Michelle has some stats on numbers compared to last year to this year of traffic, and it was about the same, correct, Michelle? It's very close, okay. We did talk about some of the efforts for like the car show and some of those, we need to rethink that if we were to do it again next year. Does that need to be something separate? It was kind of a newer part. Looking at different ways to organize all the vendors that were on Charles Street too, because they didn't get as much traction this year as they did the years previous, so there were a few complaints about that. Overall, the marketing was fine. We did talk a lot about setup and how can we enlist more people next year with that, because committee members had business, like not everybody could do what we needed to have done with 3 people. Dara was out for a couple of hours, she fell. So we need more help next year.
I think we need to hire outside
Yeah,
help.
which is what we talked about. So we need to look at maybe a marketing
that
budget for
is,
that.
we will discuss that. So
Yeah,
we don't have to
there'll
get
be
into
more
that on the
conversation about that
agenda.
later.
Okay.
We talked about it briefly. Our biggest thing was that we looked at, I think we told you guys previously that we have this partnership with Antoine Marketing. They're doing in-kind services for us. So there is a rack card which will go in tourism spots like Tangi Tourism and different places for visibility. And then there's also a brochure that we give out for tours. So we looked at what Antoine had put together and we made some revisions as a committee to send back to them. So once we get something a little more finalized, we'll share it. we discussed photography for the DDD, and Michelle and I are going to meet with the photographer to get more kind of different demographics of people, like some older people, maybe some things inside of businesses, like going in and having someone dining in a restaurant. We have a lot of lifestyle type imagery, but we want some more actionable items, right? And not that we don't love the younger population, but we need some older people in there as well.
When that's done, can it be more almost like treated as as a branding photography thing, where you have somebody I guess that's kind of what that is.
That is what these are. So she comes at a really great price for the amount of photos. Is it like 8,500 photos, Michelle? Did I make that up? For the year?
I have to go back to,
But it's a lot,
I don't know the count off my head.
yeah. But it's pretty high.
So are we selecting certain businesses to go to and do pictures?
Well, we're going to talk about that. So I think we're going to kind of look at what that would look like, talk to her a little bit more about a vision for some of the items, because we have some great stuff, but we were looking at, Antoine was just kind of putting in photography in this brochure, and it's just this random person with sunglasses on. We're like, well, who is that? What does that identify with? And there's part of a umbrella from maybe a restaurant. I'm assuming maybe La Coretta. We're like, what does that identify with? So we need some more marketable imagery that we can take and use on an ad, take and use on print materials. The stuff that Dara's been putting together for Tangy Lifestyles has been great, but we're starting to notice kind of a trend, and it's a lot of younger people.
It is.
Right? So we just want to mix it up a little bit. And that's because that's what we have. I mean, I've been happy with it so far, but, I'm looking at down to, is it too much action on this end of Charles versus that end? Is it too much action on this end of Thomas versus that end? Or is the photography, concentrated on one block more than another?
And the other thing that and I've kind of said this prior, but I know it's not as sexy. I mean, as far as getting people to want to come, food and drinking, and those are the sexy, fun things to do. But
Yes.
But there needs to be something showing the services that are down here, like the IV people or the interesting things.
Well, and all those are new, in all fairness. So
Yeah,
some of those,
yeah.
Or
yeah.
like kids in the park, kids.
Well, we do have that. We have that. We got a lot of kids in the parks, lots of mamas with kids. What we don't have is a lot of couples, older couples eating, or just a few people gathered at a bar, smiling at a camera. Just some different age group demographics. We don't have a lot of that. We have a lot of, probably I would say, 20, 30-ish, maybe some 40-ish.
It's a lot because she uses her friends.
Yes,
So-
that's the other thing. So I think we just have to guide her a little bit and then talk to a couple of businesses like Gina, like a couple other restaurants, and say, look, can we have somebody come in and photograph? Do you have some regulars that wouldn't mind that, get permission?
But is it weird to be, the ultrasound people, to have them showing a baby, that might appeal to a middle-aged,
100%, or showing an ultrasound is
Yeah. That kind of
That's
stuff.
stage photography, right? So
Right.
that's what we're going to talk to her about.
Okay.
What can we do to include some of the businesses, the services that they render, and have a little bit more of a diverse demographics on what we're proposing? Because downtown's for everyone, right? It's for the young, the old, the babies, the adults, the retirees, all of it. So we're just going to look at doing that. And we've never really.
Right now, it's more geared towards hipsters. And
It is. And honestly, that's part of what our tagline is, right? Historically hip.
But with timeless charm.
Right, so we need to include
Timeless
that.
part.
Yeah, so we're aware, and we're going to start working on that a little bit more. So we looked at the
And
rec,
one thing I wanted to share before we even move on from that was really quite
You're-
You're breaking up again.
We can't hear you.
Can't understand anything.
You're breaking up real bad.
Okay.
Try again.
Go by a window.
It's okay, you can move on.
so more to come on that, okay? Then we also talked about some of the marketing pieces for the SLU Centennial Homecoming event, and Michelle and I had some conversations we have to have with Malin with the alumni group. We also looked at the trick or treat, the downtown trick or treat marketing materials. We don't think we're going to change them up a whole lot. They're really cute. We don't have that in the budget to hire someone to do it. We may play around with the font, but it's got black and it's got our orange.
It's
So,
gonna
I
be,
mean,
it's
we
gonna be
used to-
packed anyway.
Yeah.
100%, right.
That's gonna be a problem.
You don't have to promote that.
Yeah.
And that was right before we did the rebrand anyway, so we
Yeah.
Yeah.
intentionally used the
It's
colors that
fine.
we knew were gonna be
Yeah,
part of
it's
the
gonna,
brand, so.
that's gonna be fine.
Yeah. So we have that kind of ready to roll. We might just change the font. And then we also looked at Starry Saturday and kind of reorganizing that a little bit within budget. So we're not quite there yet. We'll probably regroup on that again for next month's meeting and get that finalized. So we're trying to get as much done as possible, but then we didn't have quorum, so we really couldn't get too far. But we do know what we have to do, like change fonts, but that would be about it. So that was it.
All right, next up is design, Mary.
Yep. So we had a good meeting. One thing we got, the largest thing we got out of our meeting, we had a lot of discussion about coordination and communication with city, with the mayor, with this funding from Representative Muscarella and what's happening with it and his intention for things. After that, John and I went and met with the mayor, and we had a good meeting. We were actually going to meet about the paving of the parking mall underneath the pavilion, which we were discussing some more long-term plans with him, just to try to understand. He's not super receptive to Michelle and Michelle's suggestions we don't know why. However, we thought it might be good to get a different faces in front of him. So John and I went and met with him and got a gauge on what he's willing and not willing to do, which was really good. He has agreed. We did tell him the design committee offered to actually go meet with the mayor and the city administrator and the building official to see if maybe we could work with them to collaborate, because there's so many things like the lighting improvement. There's money for the lighting improvement, or Representative Muscarella wants the lighting improvement. Well, who's taking the lead on that? Is the city, is the city engineer? The design committee wants to say so, because we're a bunch of designers. And we don't want just an engineer deciding, well, this is utilitarian, let's put this. We have really good people on our committee, and they're very, very invested in downtown, and they really want to say so to make sure it's cohesive and continues that language that started in Railroad Park, and we want to continue that throughout. So we talked a lot about that. The committee wants to go meet with the mayor to try to be collaborative. So when John and I met, we brought that up to him. He was open to that. He said, absolutely, I'll meet with your committee. We can have the engineer, we can have the city administrator, which I think is what we need. And we told him, we said, we just want a voice. We have
a very good
a bunch of professionals with a lot of experience who are willing to donate their time and talents, because we want to make sure it's done right. We just want to talk it through with y'all, so we have a voice. So it's not just being done haphazardly. So he agreed. I'm going to schedule that meeting, but in the meantime, the very next day, I ran into Representative Muscarello at the Tangi Chamber luncheon, and I mentioned to him that we were talking about I thanked him for the money he's gotten for downtown, and I said, I know you're a proponent, and he said, y'all tell me what you want to do, I'll get the money. Y'all just tell me what you want. I want downtown to be great. And I said, well, would you be willing to meet with the design committee so we could sit down and Roy Dufresh has a long-term vision for this connected sidewalk, like a trail from the welcome sign all the way to Southeastern, repeating that language that's in Railroad Park with the paved sidewalk with the nice light fixtures, something that could go all the way, because there's really no safe way to walk from the pavilion to the Railroad Park. You have to walk behind cars in a parking mall. And if you got kids and somebody's going to get hit.
Oh, trust me, I mean,
Yeah,
that's not the only.
so we talked about that. I talked about that with him, and I said, we have a vision, we have, renderings and things, and he said, absolutely, call my office, let's set it up. So we have that meeting scheduled for September 22nd. So before we go meet with the mayor, the design committee is going to go meet with Representative Muscarella and just kind of tell him our long-term vision of what we're thinking. I definitely think he'll be a proponent to help
Yeah.
us. And then we're going to schedule a meeting with the mayor, city administrator, and engineer. So we're
I would go ahead and get that meeting scheduled with the
yeah,
mayor.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question, just for clarity on my part. The money that, I know that $350,000, that was
Yes.
supposed to be for drainage and all that.
Yes.
But then when the mayor said,
He-
Nikki wants lights, so where is
But
that?
that's separate. He's going to get, so the
That's what he's gonna get.
350,000 they took, and he said it's not available, and I don't know what they did with it.
Well,
But
who
yeah,
said
the-
it wasn't
The
available?
mayor, because we asked what happened to the 350,000 that Representative Mascarella got for drainage and all, and
Well, I think I was.
maybe he didn't say it wasn't
No,
available.
No. What I was asking was, there was a remaining amount from the donated pavilion amount.
That's what he said.
That's
We're
what's
not,
not available.
that went into, right, that went into the general
So,
fund.
but that 350,000, I believe, is earmarked for drainage.
It
That-
is.
Yeah, that should,
And
that
I don't know that they have, that's what we need to meet with the engineer. We need to find out if they have a plan. for that.
$350,000 should still be sitting.
Yeah.
It should be.
Because it was designed for that.
It was. So it should be, but again, everybody's doing this.
Right, but going forward, if
Yes.
there's money that he's able to get, there's going to be a DDD
Yes,
involvement as far as
I-
using it, correct?
Yes, and I think Representative Mascarella would be amenable to
Having us-
specifying what it needs to go to.
Gotcha.
I don't know that for a fact,
Yeah.
but I think he
And
would.
the other question that I have is, can that money go to,
Yeah.
can that money go to the DDD?
Call it in person.
Yeah.
Can that go to the DDD, or it has to go to the city?
I don't know the answer to that.
Because I'd like to know that answer.
Yeah, we can ask.
It
We
will,
can ask.
it'll have to go to the city.
It'll have to go to the city, but
It'll
if
have to
it's,
go to the city.
Do we know, Michelle?
Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. So over the summer, I did talk to Representative Mascarello about the possibility of us receiving those state funds. As a political subdivision, we can, but ultimately, it would have to be his call of whether he would want to continue to appropriate those funds to the city or to change it to have it be to us. Now, I think that for him to do that, I mean, it is ultimately his choice if he wants to. I just know that the city has not responded positively to the way that these appropriations have been, the DD's involvement in them. So I feel like at our next meeting that we have with him, he might be able to give us a little bit more clarity about that, because
Yeah.
I did specify that at first he thought we were a nonprofit, and I very firmly clarified, I gave him our statute and told him that we're a political subdivision, so we can be a grantor of those funds that he has. Obviously, that we still have the city as our fiscal agent, but with us being able to hold the funds and look at contracts for them and do all the project
Right.
management of it,
Right.
that might streamline some of these things.
And I think if he can see the vision, I think he'll be all for it. That's why we want to get the design committee in front of him, because like I said, we've got a group of very seasoned professionals in that field, and we have something concrete we can show him, and he can see it, and I think it'll be a really good collaboration. So our goal is to go collaborate with him, and then our goal is to collaborate with the mayor, engineer, and administrator to try to advance some of these thoughts and ideas. And at the end of the day, we just want downtown to be cohesive and the best it can be. We want it to be well-lit
Easy,
and
well-lit.
safe, and we want it to be easy for people to walk. I told them that. I said, you cannot walk safely right now through downtown. Like if my kids were young, I wouldn't go on a Saturday because I cannot walk safely. We talked about the crossing from the pavilion to the parking mall. John and I went and walked it, and John took pictures of me standing on the sidewalk with an SUV passing by 4 feet from me. And the
Mary
sidewalk.
risked her life so we can make this happen, man.
The sidewalk stops, and then there's gravel, and we're like, look, this is not safe. So he agreed to go talk to the railroad.
When are we getting this done?
He agreed to talk to
We're
the
gonna make a
railroad to see
point.
if they could fix that crossing, just things like that.
Yeah.
It needs
no.
to be safe and walkable.
And I know for a fact that Nikki is 100% behind all of the
Yes.
improvements.
Yes, I agree with that. So we made a lot of progress.
Let me ask this too, just to throw this out there. So in the event that I would hope that we could negotiate that the funds would be allocated to us to where we have a little bit more control and less red tape, is that going to be an issue from a management standpoint? I mean, I know we got a lot of stuff. I just want to make sure, what does that make, what does that do for us? Like, is that a lot more things that we're having to, Michelle, do you know if like,
I think it's going to be the issue if the money's still directed to us. We still have to get the city involved in it, and that's going to be what slows us down. Because we're going to have to get the city to approve the things to be done.
Right, correct, that's
So
correct.
it's still the
I
same
mean,
involvement, we'd just
it's
be able to
probably,
direct the money and get.
We'll just be able
I
to
think
direct
so.
the money ourselves.
And make sure that
But
the-
the city still has to be involved.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna end up like Ponchatoula with, I mean, you see what's going on in Ponchatoula, they decided to dig up every street to put flowers in instead of doing them one at a time.
Yeah, well, I guess.
We don't need to end up with a
The
project
difference is
like
we're
that.
almost like a customer going to develop and they have to respond to us rather than us being on a list of, with everything else.
Yes,
Yes,
I think
correct,
so.
correct.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it would all be very positive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Chance, you do bring up a good point. I do think that with holding these funds, it puts us in a position to have to do all the project management and solicitation for it, similar to what we have done for Railroad Park, and for the welcome sign. Now, depending upon the amount of funding, that project would be scaled for that. So I think there's pros and cons to both. I'm interested to see how Representative Muscarello responds to it. From the last time we spoke to it, he still seemed on the fence about it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. All right, so that was the gist of mine, so.
That's good.
More to come next.
All right, events, is that something,
Michelle, do you
Michelle?
want to do events?
So most of the things we talked about were with Hot August feedback. We did invite we invited Chief Bergeron to attend. We sent Chief Monaster, who was the assistant chief who handled the barricade deployment and the staffing of the officers for that day, with Hammond PD. I can't quite remember the gentleman that was with him, but we did have HPD representation there. On their side of things, they shared that overall on their end, they did not have as many incidences as there was last year. They did have 12 arrests during the event, which was up from last year, but of course that didn't really make very much news.
All on the west side,
Pretty standard. The
east side, I'm sorry.
Its response to the barricades being put out to close the parallel parking along Thomas has definitely been a mixed bag. And a chance you're there, and we could definitely, I know we haven't really had a chance to talk a ton about it, but we had a big bag on that from our businesses, feeling like that wasn't necessary. Some of our businesses liked the parking being closed because it expanded the sidewalk out and made everyone feel safer. Logistically, those barricades have to go out very early on Saturday in order to not move as many vehicles so that they are deployed for the evening time. Initially, we were told that HPD would be paying for towing of all the vehicles along Thomas, but we did receive an invoice for the towing of all those vehicles in the amount of $575. And we have been directed to pay that invoice to tow those vehicles.
It wasn't just Thomas, it was also Morris.
Yeah, it was the part.
It was both, it was not just Thomas, it was Morris, but we can get into that later.
Right, yes. Yeah, so that's all, the Chancellor block of Morris is also part of those closures, not all the parallel parking along Morris, but on your block and by Truth. So it wanted to be 7 vehicles that were towed, and we have to put that expense, which was a surprise to me.
do we have anything in writing that it was supposed to be them?
How many vehicles?
No. Do we have anything in an email or in writing that they were taking that bill?
I do believe that Assistant Chief Monaster said on public record at our events committee that they would handle the towing.
He did say that in the events committee, that he specifically said HPD pays for that, not anybody else. But then Chief Bergeron is the one that said.
So have we, I mean, I'm guessing we told him that? We told him that it was said that,
she-
Michelle, was it communicated?
So the email exchange that I had, we received the invoice, I sent it to Chief Monaster, and I said, HPD is paying for this, correct? And he said, let me check with Chief Bergeron. Chief Bergeron said for me to send it to Charles. So I sent it to Charles with Chief Bergeron and Chief Monaster copied. Chief Bergeron responded and said that it should the VDD should be paying for it.
Okay, so, I know, that's what I'm trying to say. It's, in that email, it says, well, per our conversation, this was what it was. Send the minutes. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's what,
Right, so there just needs to be,
Well,
I'm assuming that we're gonna have to wind up paying for it, but I will say that we were under we had the understanding that HP was paying for it, and that we had been communicated with throughout the process.
I would say per the meeting and
Right.
attach the minutes. Per the meeting,
this is an
it was
expense.
stated that HPD would pay for it. Yeah.
Right. I mean, that is the assistant chief, so the Chief Bergeron saying something different, I don't have anything in writing from Chief Bergeron. I don't know how far that will go. I will keep you all in the loop about that so that we don't have to pay it. But this is one of the very common paths we wind up going down of like things just not being as they said that they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
So
Well, look, in future, the first response would be not like, to me, it would not be like, y'all are paying correct. It would be, hey, guys, this is y'all expense, remember? Attach the minutes and send it to them. Don't give it an opportunity for a discussion and collaboration. It is what it is, you know what I mean? So it's just like 7 people pulled into something stupid. We have record that they're paying for
Yeah.
it, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, okay.
And then we reviewed the budget, which we'll look at in a little bit, and did discuss just confirming times and schedule for our other events. But just for the sake of time, we can, I know we basically covered similar things between marketing and events this time around. But overall, I mean, I think that event-wise, I'm very proud of what we accomplished as staff, very thankful for everything that our volunteers did. It took us some time to recover from it, but it was good to have everyone involved.
I heard everybody loved the band. There was like a lot of people commenting on that, so that was a success. What, did we send out the,
Survey.
yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, we had last time I checked, we had like 122 responses. I don't think we've had any since then, but we had mixed feedback. Some people saying things that were not even relevant to the event.
It's always like that.
Yeah,
It's all about that.
but we had some people talking about it's too hot, as we do every year, too hot to drink wine, that it should be an evening thing because it's too hot to drink wine. It's in the evening, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, and I'm trying to think of some of the other responses. We have the spreadsheet saved with all of them downloaded from SurveyMonkey, but other things, some businesses not happy about, like Michelle said, the street closures and stuff like that. But as Michelle says, it's always a camp of 3 different
Yeah.
groups. It's,
Well, there's some things that are curable and some things that are not curable. The heat
Yeah.
is not curable.
Yeah,
It's in the title of the damn thing, so.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
but, the other question, as far as the barricades, this was just my observation where we were. It didn't seem needed. During the wine stroll, there was not enough people to even go out into the street from what I saw the whole time that I was at my office. However, when it is needed, I feel like it's for this kid's Halloween. That's when there's tons of kids that are
yeah.
walking. So is that a plan for them to do that, or do we know?
I haven't heard. Michelle, have you heard anything about them wanting to close I don't remember if we talked about that in the events committee or not, for trick or treat, if they're going to close down the parking along Thomas?
We have not discussed closing down the parking along Thomas for trick or treat. We do close the 100 block of North Cypress for trick or treat as like a kind of relief area.
My experience is that it gets really crowded with all these kids, and no offense, if a drunk adult decides to get hit, that's their problem, but a child is even worse. I wish we could put the barricades. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to do this barricade thing, I don't know y'all opinion.
Well, I'm going to agree with John on this. And this is going to get when we get into the review.
Okay, I mean, jump in,
But this is coming from everybody that I've talked to. The blocking off all the parking spaces on Thomas and Morris is extremely unnecessary for it. We're inviting 10,000 people to come to town and telling them, okay, so you have to park in Ponchatoula to come to the event. And that is what I've gotten from everybody, that it's actually hurting more than it's helping. But I'm with John, protecting the kids. There's more of a congestive event on trick or treat.
I think because hot August
Then
is
they're-
all day now,
Right.
the crowd is spread out.
Correct.
It
And
used to be that it was a consensus.
trick or treat,
over amount of time.
trick or treat is congestive.
Yeah, it's-
And that's where you have kids at risk. Hot August is an all-day event, and there's never the sidewalks until, once you get after 8 o'clock at night, then it gets congested.
But even that's
But that's adult
around the bar.
choices.
It's in little pockets.
Well, I
That's
think-
adult
Along
choices.
the
I think the
whole-
call for the barricades was based on previous years. I mean, that was the reason to do it.
That-
Yeah,
That's why.
but
That
I mean, but you're talking
HPD
about from
last
Cherry Street all the way to Pine Street.
Right.
Blocking off 100 parking spaces.
I get it. I had to
I mean-
walk. I walked from my house. I get it.
Yeah, but you walk from your house, but you're not coming.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
You're not
even
coming
locals,
to
heck, even
town.
people that live in the area had to walk. So yeah, I mean, I get it. But I think,
If you live in Villa West and you coming over here,
well, yeah, but I'm saying is I think the barricades for Hot August nights are something that we're talking about not doing for next year, correct?
I hope so.
I
I mean-
want to make sure everybody understands that this is an HPD thing.
Correct.
We didn't
Yes.
say
This is-
we were
this is
closing
from
down
the
this
mayor's
town.
office,
This wasn't
yes.
DDD saying we're closing the parking down or that
So
we're not
I
gonna
don't,
do
I
it
don't
next
even
year.
know
We
if
don't
we
really
should
have
even
control,
be
so.
talking about the barricades for Halloween, because we're not going to control that.
yes, right. But it would be safer it would be more.
100%.
It would be more
100%.
proactive for trick or treat than it is for
100%.
Hot August.
The only time that I
Yes.
have ever really noticed that I felt like there was a need for barricades is that trick or treat for Halloween. It
Yes,
gets
way more
congested.
people.
Yeah,
Way more
because people are pulling wagons, all
And,
kinds
and
of
kids
stuff.
like run off from their parents and
Yeah.
stuff, and it makes me freaked out, and I'm not even a parent. But I've never noticed. I mean, Hot August gets congested like at the bars, like on a corner or whatever here and there. But I've never seen where you need the whole width of
Right.
for people doing a wine tour. I've
Now,
never
let me
seen it.
ask you a question. Can merchants, is this okay? And I've seen them do it in Ponchatoula before. The parallel parking that's in front of a business, can merchants get out there and put cones in front of your business?
No, they made me move my truck. I talked to Angelo myself.
Okay.
I park y'all all know where I park.
Yeah.
I park there for my safety because most of the time I'm the last person to leave.
To leave, yeah.
And I walk out that side door, I get straight in my truck. That way I don't have to shoot anybody. I get in my truck and I go. They made me move my truck so they could just block it off. And I told Angelo straight, I said, I park here for my safety.
Yeah.
You know, so I can move the barricade and get out the end of the night if that's what you want me to do. But they made me move my vehicle down the street we can get into that later.
Yeah.
Michelle, did you have
Well, I
something?
do think that, I think a follow-up item here is just generally parking closure coordination for DD events with Chief Bergeron. And I mean, everything from if she really, in order for how he has communicated it to me, in order for Hot August to be hosted, it is a non-negotiable that he says to close down the parking along Common. He did not do that for the past 2 years, and he has had regrets about not doing that. So I think that it's important that he does hear from the businesses, but they are focused on safety. Now, I think that there are other hot spots that can be focused versus kind of taking care of the whole street. But it might be worth our time to have a follow-up meeting with Chief Bergeron, with some of our business owners, and get some clarification about Hot August for next year and for trick-or-treat planning.
Well,
And
maybe
so-
he-
and the other thing is, if it's their idea to barricade, then they definitely should pay for the towing.
Well, 100%. But then maybe that could be the merchant committee that they meet with. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, I
right.
feel like that's where you get
Because
most
the
of-
mer,
Yeah.
it affects business.
Well, I don't disagree. I
It
mean, I
affects
get it.
business 100%, and
Because it's the whole day. It
it's
starts in
the
the
whole
morning,
day,
it goes all
you know,
day,
And I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's unnecessary. I can't wrap my mind around, let's invite everybody to come see our town.
Yeah.
Let's, we're going to promote this across the state, whatever we're doing. But yet, well, you can't park around here. we're going to block off all the
Well,
parking
they're
we
parking,
have.
they're parking in the neighborhoods. That's what they did this year.
Right, but I mean,
Yeah.
but you can't park,
No, right.
if you're not from here and you try to come to our mini festival, you know, what are we trying to achieve? Are we trying to have an event or are we not trying to have an event?
Right.
But, I mean.
So we need to put that on follow-up business for new business, Michelle? Is that what we're
I put
doing?
it on-
Yeah,
I put it on
okay,
the
you have it
notes
on
and
there. Okay.
highlighted it.
All right.
For us to discuss, later.
Yep.
But now, John?
All right, farmer's market. All right, so the main farmer's market discussions as always, and to be continued, has been the location of the farmer's market. We had presented, come up with multiple options where they did graphs to show the layout of the farmer's market. And basically, last meeting, we took a vote on what the top three would be with the idea that we would present to the mayor the needs for any of these options to work. The first choice, based on, the amount of vendors we have and the most practical and easy way to handle this would be still the closing off the street, which has been nixed. So the second option would be,
Closing of the street by the railroad.
yeah,
park.
like it was before,
Okay,
which
at
was,
Railroad Park.
yes, which is no longer
Right.
an option per the mayor. However, we'd still like to leave that on the table as an option after we go through the other options if they cannot work. So the first option outside of that was discussed that it would be the pavilion, but in order for that to work, there is going to need to be some hurdles that we need to get through, and a cooperative agreement with the city to use that space, and then also use of currently a green space to be able to do what we need to do over there. So taking that over and the ability to do that. So that would have to be a discussion. The other option that is discussed was to the other side of the railroad track, on the side by by Topla, yes. So the idea for that would be really the vendors are feeling that they're losing business, or not feeling, they're saying that they're losing business, and by not being together. So, and then they would be disjointed. The other options kind of keep them disjointed from the stage and disjointed from the bathrooms, the tables, and all that. So that would be an option that they feel, and it would also be a little bit less dangerous because you're crossing a railroad track rather than crossing a highway. So,
That's not how you look at it.
well, when a train's
Yeah.
coming, but,
Yeah.
as opposed to constant traffic. But anyway, there has been, they've witnessed people yelling at one another, almost getting hit across that. So that's been a thing. I'm just saying it's a discussion. So anyway, the challenge there will be in the past that, the people that have businesses over there complain that they're not going to, it's going to affect their business. So,
You're talking about the parking lot that's parallel to where.
yes,
Railroad Park.
But not the parking,
across,
which would be.
which is where they're
smart-
at now.
which would be further over, the one in front of the law firm, in front of Fisk and all of that parking lot.
No, the one connected to railroad.
I know, but that one has less parking in the morning on that parking lot than the one that you're talking about using. I think that parking lot would be a bad idea. That's parallel to it. Too many people utilize that in the morning. You have a coffee shop, you have a
I would say
restaurant.
Use the 100 block of Kate Street.
Yeah.
Use my block. Use my whole block. It would be fine. I'm not trying to get into this whole farmer's market thing.
Well, let me tell you this. So, all these conversations that you're saying are going back and forth, and then it also has to do with usability and layout of
Sure.
how many vendor. Like, there's many things that are going into
Yeah.
this. So, after all that was settled, that's the options that the farmers market would prefer.
So where's it going to be this week?
It's
always
it's in the
is.
same
It's not
spot. Yeah,
moving.
right now, nothing's moving. So the idea is to go present these layouts and plans to the mayor and say, this is our hurdles, this is our options, this is what we need to do. These are the top three.
This is a really stupid question. I feel like I'm kind of late to the game here, but what was the pavilion designed for?
So
Nothing.
originally,
Like, what's,
years ago, Holly and Smith had designed a farmer's market pavilion.
okay, so
For
I'm
a
not crazy.
farmer's
I
market.
did remember that, because
That got nixed and there was no money for it.
Okay.
So years went by, and then the city, I guess, or someone got this Hammond Housing Corporation
Dissolved.
dissolved, and they had money they wanted to donate, and so they were going to donate it to build a pavilion. But I think the city took charge of that, and basically, there were other amenities. It was larger, there were restrooms. They cut the budget, and without any input from
Anyone. right.
anyone, and that's why we ended up with what we have. So it's basically, they're thinking it's a great amenity, but they didn't have the feedback, so the things that it needs to function for the farmer's market aren't there.
But I guess what I'm confused, which is what I'm not hearing, what's going to be underneath there? What is it intended for? A
Parking.
concert? It's
oh.
covered parking?
Basically.
covered parking,
Or like the
except
blues
for
and
special
barbecues,
events.
special events.
Special events, it'll be blocked off. It's covered parking.
So bizarre.
I know. And I was just at a farmer's market in Italy, and I'm just saying, it seems like life is so much more simple there because they probably had 140 vendors there, and they all pulled up in box trucks. They set their shit up, and then they put their box trucks a few blocks away, and then I'm talking about live chickens and
yeah.
I went to it. It was amazing because I was literally thinking about how much we talk about farmers market. And then we can't even find a space. We have all this space, and these people are triple the size of our farmers market, making it work. And we argue over.
That's a cultural thing. Do you realize that we
I get it,
can't
I
walk
get it,
3
but-
blocks to go to a restaurant without
I know,
complaining?
but
and
I mean, but-
walking up hills with shit on their head. Like,
Well, that's like.
And we're worried about where the bathroom is.
Yeah, that's a different
That's how
culture.
the Pensacola
I
farmers
mean, but the
market
bathroom is literally a block away.
Have you ever went to the Pensacola farmers market?
Yes, I've been
I mean,
there
yeah.
as well.
It's like, I mean, it's just in the
It
median.
should just be,
downtown.
everybody should be working
And it's like-
together.
It's like a
I mean,
mile long.
look,
Yeah.
I will open the door to China if somebody needs to get to the bathroom closer, if they can't make it to the it doesn't matter, it's just a toilet.
Yeah.
I walked around Italy with a wet wipe in my pocket, just in case. It's not a big deal. Like, we fight over the most trivial bullshit here, when let's just find a space to have the farmer's market and end the conversation.
Yeah.
Let's take the railroad park, or let's take the new pavilion area and the rest of the parking lot and say, this is where the Hammond Farmers Market lives. And this is it. And then we can beautify it after the fact.
Right. I
But we
mean,
need to-
honestly, when I drove past it, that's what I thought was going to happen. Logically, that's what makes sense to most.
It does.
To most consumers.
It's
and to-
it's 4 hours on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And it is.
And we're
it
making
is-
life-altering
it is-
decisions.
It is different than, the thing is, it's different than what everybody's used to. But I agree that people can adapt, and they would have
just
to get
have to
used to
deal
a
with
new
it.
normal, right?
4 hours on a Saturday.
Right.
And we spend all of our meetings talking about this.
Yeah.
Like,
So I do want to just let everyone know that the goal of having these 3 options, because all the 3 options that are there, we don't have approval for. What we have approval for is what the setup is right now. And it is to effectively come up with a final plan so that we do stop talking about it. Because I think we're all very tired of talking about it, and if it means that we just have to be happy with where we are, then that is the final decision. But trying to make the pavilion work really is the primary objective for the market, and we will.
we can put up signs. Like, if that's where the final resting place ends, the pavilion and whatever, you put up a sign that says toilets.
That way.
That way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not so, we make life so hard. Y'all know my feelings on this. So I don't have to sit here and beat the horse anymore.
Well, the goal in having the meeting with the mayor is to get permission to do one of these other options. Because right now we don't have permission to do any of them. We only have permission to have the setup that we have right now. So solutions will be implemented, and the conversation, for everyone's sake, and just having consistent location for the market is much needed for everyone.
When is that meeting? Is that meeting scheduled?
We haven't scheduled it yet.
Okay.
But I did, one thing I meant to mention, I did go ahead and send an email to Charles, just trying to touch base with him on several items. I sent it yesterday, I haven't heard back, but the discussion about the pavilion would be a discussion with the mayor. So John and I are trying to get a group together so that we can go ahead and have that meeting with him to get that underway. Because not only would it be for the farmers market, but really if we're going to have it there and it's going to be there consistently, then we would ideally prefer to do it every Saturday, and that might require a cooperative endeavor agreement. So
Did we pay for the asphalt?
No,
We did not.
no. Okay.
Next is
Merchant? Janet?
The emergency committee did not meet. We met, but we didn't have enough people.
yeah, we only have Mr. Ricky and Devin show up. So.
Yeah, I apologize. I was out of town. I sent the message. I don't know what happened with everybody else. They all had a lot of things to say regarding hot August, so I didn't think it was going to be an issue, but obviously, did y'all try to reconcile for Monday?
We told everybody about Monday. Everybody from the merchant committee was invited to the events committee meeting, but nobody showed up.
I was still.
Well, you were, yeah.
I was still not here,
Yeah.
but.
I mean, Mr. Ricky, we had already talked to Mr. Ricky and Devin, so that's probably why they didn't come. But
Yeah.
Jose was, Michelle texted him and told him when the meeting was and everything. And also everybody was added to the calendar.
So I do apologize about that. I will make sure the next merchant committee is well attended.
We don't have residential committee here.
Can I bring up something?
I do want to say, though, at the merchant committee, Devin did say that hot August was Luma's busiest day on record since they opened.
Wait, say it again?
Luma. Devin said it was
Luma.
the busiest day on record since the day they opened for them, hot August.
I'm
This year.
very glad for them.
Yeah,
They've been open.
since they've been open.
It was not for us, but I could get that because they probably had an extremely good morning because there was a lot of people out and about in the morning because I was at work at 7:30 and there was a very nice crowd on the east side of the tracks in the morning, so they probably did have a great day.
And they run a big anniversary special
Yeah.
and make a big deal about plastic cups. I mean, I got one. Can I ask a question about these committee meetings? Because I do have a huge concern moving into the holiday season. Like yesterday, I didn't have quorum. And I feel like as we move into the fall months, these are going to be harder for people to attend. I know that I'm looking at the people on my committee, like April's highly involved at Southeastern, so is Laura DiMatteo. Ashley has a lot going on with her business and her children during the fall. Abby is back and forth between New Orleans and Hammond, and as the fall kicks in, it's a busier season. Is it in records somewhere where these have to happen monthly? Can they happen quarterly?
We didn't, when I got on the DDD board, we didn't even have committees. They brought the committees back.
The committees-
So I think that I think the design committee needs to meet monthly, but as far as the other ones.
Or
yeah,
maybe it's
I think
every
we
other
could-
month.
We
in
could
the
have voted on
summertime
that.
is always like when I got, because we came on at the same time. The summertime's been the biggest challenge.
Sure.
People traveling, especially last month.
Yeah, I'm looking at my committee, and I'm already getting nervous knowing what those particular people do and that their businesses and their careers kind of evolve.
Could
I mean, mine
could it
revolves
be
lot
on a
around the fall.
case-by-case basis per the committee chair?
I mean,
I think that would probably
I'm
be the
fine with
best
that as
thing.
long as Michelle's, if you're going to be okay with that. Michelle, I know that we
Michelle.
canceled 1 week because we couldn't get enough people to commit. And I'm looking at my committee members, whom are all amazing, and I'm like, I don't want to force people to do
Yeah.
something and quit.
Well,
And
like
then-
Right.
the residential committee maybe doesn't have something to
Yeah.
say every month. I mean,
We-
Emergent committee needs to meet, but I mean, our committee meeting was 4 days before Labor Day.
Yeah,
really
Little-
probably not the best
Yeah.
time that we should have had the meeting, but
Can-
hindsight.
So I'd like to make a motion that the frequency of committee meetings are determined by the committee chairman.
Second.
Sorry, all. Okay. Todd Delon, Chance Kinchin.
Yeah.
Mary Gito.
Yes.
Kayla Morgan.
Yes.
John Exnicius.
Yes.
All right, so then the next one is residential committee, and like I just said, we haven't met with them
Yeah.
since.
Old business.
So can we talk about this person?
Yeah.
So the design committee just made some recommendations. We voted to recommend to the city that the DDD be able to hire and manage an engineering consultant for the $350,000 project, that's the one Representative Muscarello got, to design the drainage and street improvements, since nothing's happening with it.
But now we got to find if the money's there.
Yeah, I think I was mistaken. I think I was, like you said, it was the
Yeah, we were
other part
talking
of the
about that other
pavilion.
portion, yeah.
And then we also made a recommendation, like I mentioned, that the board arrange a meeting with the mayor and the administrator regarding the design committee involvement. The design committee, well, that's what John and I went to meet with him about. So we've done that, and we just need to schedule that meeting.
Okay.
Do we need to make a motion that we're recommending that?
I thought we did it
Wait,
last
last
I think we
meeting.
did it already.
We did it
Okay,
already.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's old, I'm
Last
sorry.
meeting, y'all
Yeah.
did that, yeah.
But then we do need this discussion at the meeting time.
Okay, so we did talk about, okay, do you want to go to new business?
No, we
Or
didn't
Well,
did-
we
this
had-
meeting.
Okay.
So this was discussed last time. Kayla was not there last time. Last time we discussed, and I know that Todd was in favor of this, the third Wednesday of the month at 9:30, and at the latest 11, like it has to end by 11, so hour and a half at the most. But moves to 9:30 a.m. and it moves to the third Wednesday of the month.
Can't do it. I have mandatory meetings every Monday morning. I'm the top.
When-
This is Wednesday.
Wednesday, that's
Did I say
Wednesday's
Monday?
the worst. That's when I
You said
actually meet with my
Wednesday.
boss at that time, every Wednesday. I'm the top producer for my company, so I can only do Friday mornings, unfortunately, if we move this to a day thing.
Maybe just don't become a top producer and then you can just do this. You know what I'm saying?
Then you'll have to pay my mortgage.
Again,
yeah,
like,
so-
once again, I'll state, I can do, Friday mornings are fine with me.
Fridays I'm
just-
off, so
okay.
that's really flexible for me.
Right.
I hate to
Michelle,
be
what
that
do you-
person, but
Are you still there, Michelle?
Michelle knows this.
Did we lose her?
I'm here.
So
I'm
what,
going in and out.
so what Friday are we talking?
We would have to decide that. Y'all would have to look at your schedules and see if a Friday works for you, and then we would have to decide.
As long as it's not it'd have to be a window, hour and a half window would all be,
Yeah.
I would have.
Yeah, agreed.
We could keep it at that. That's fine. I don't think any of us have an issue with that.
I could do Friday more, the third,
Second or third Friday.
I could do the third, well, does it?
What
does it-
Friday, what Friday is our,
Executive?
yeah.
The last Friday.
Last Friday.
So that would
So,
be,
so then would it make sense to have it the first Friday?
Does it matter with the committee
No,
meetings?
Not
or-
the first Friday.
why not because
Why
you
not?
want it to be after the committee meetings?
The first week of the month is just very difficult logistically. Meeting is a lot to prepare for.
Okay.
So maybe it's the
so
third.
either
Third
second
is
or
what
third.
you're saying,
The
correct?
second Friday or the third Friday?
Either, yeah, second or third.
I'm, whatever y'all
You're
want.
I would
just-
say the third Friday, because I have my design committee meetings on the second week of the month.
And we usually have our marketing meetings on the first, so.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to
Depends on how
think,
the month
because
falls.
I'm confused, because I know I have historic commission planning at 11 on Fridays.
Which
The
Friday?
Friday before the actual meeting. I always get confused.
You don't know if it's
I don't
the,
know the third, because I'm getting confused with everything. I know my historic commission meeting is usually the same day. Did we move this
this moved at the
to the
beginning
week
of this
before?
year.
Yeah.
Earlier,
And it used to be
yeah.
the same day. So next week is my historic commission.
So that's the third
On
week.
Friday?
So we need to do
No, that
this-
means this Friday is the planning,
This Friday is the
Okay.
planning.
would be the planning, and Wednesdays
And
usually
what
the
time does
meetings.
that happen?
11 to,
That's on this
On.
Friday is your planning meeting, but
So if we
next
did-
Friday, you don't have anything.
But if we did,
You want it on the same day as your historic commission planning meeting, or on
I
the,
wouldn't because I'm going to be
or the
rushing.
third Friday? It needs to be the third Friday.
so, okay, third Friday.
So the third Friday at,
Nine.
now, I think we did 9:30 because I had something on Wednesdays earlier. We could do 9,
Nine's beautiful.
9,
Okay.
9 o'clock.
works for me.
Third Friday of the month.
I would assume that Todd is also okay with.
I'd
this,
be
but we-
fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain of that.
So 9 o'clock, the third Friday of the month.
That works for me. Thank you. Sorry to be a
Friday
troublemaker.
at 9.
No, you're not.
Not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, does somebody want to make a motion for that?
So oh, go ahead.
You make it.
I'll make a motion that we move the DDD board meetings to the third Friday of the month at 9 a.m.
Second. I'm trying to make it comical every once in a while. You want to laugh.
Todd DeLon, Chance Kinchin.
Yes.
Mary Gito.
Yes.
Kayla Morgan,
Yes.
John Exnicius.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
think-
effective next month?
Yeah, since we're already meeting this
And y'all will
month.
send like a calendar reoccurring deal, so we can
Yes,
just.
I'll update it in just a minute,
Okay.
or at the end of this.
Really
We're,
helps with my child
Michelle's coming back
schedule,
on,
too.
so hold on. You there, Michelle?
There you go.
I'm here now, yep.
Okay, we just voted, they just voted, to move to the third Friday of the month at 9 a.m.
What did?
The board meeting?
Yes, that's good.
Oh, I thought you said what did. You said that's good, okay.
did
got
No,
it.
no, I said splendid.
Okay.
Oh, splendid.
Blended.
Perfect.
All right, good deal. New
All right,
business?
so new business.
Yep, discussion of recommendations for improvements of Hot August Stroll.
So this is what I had emailed everybody, y'all may have others, that I think we need to investigate hiring some sort of company or manpower or fraternity or something. It's just, there was a whole lot of manual labor that the handful of volunteers and our staff were doing, and our staff were there literally from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m.
I have a whole fraternity that could use community service.
It's too much to ask.
Why are you telling us this now?
Yeah, it's,
Well,
and I didn't know it until I
didn't think
volunteered,
about it
but.
till
I mean,
Mary's
if
email.
we could enlist that kind of help, I think
Yeah.
that would be a solution.
That would
Because,
be
I mean,
good.
I couldn't get
Can
this
we-
110 up.
Like, what do we, how do we, can we officially write off community service hours?
As an
If they're
organization.
volunteering,
Yeah.
we can, yeah.
Yeah,
We can
okay.
be, yeah.
This is my question. If we're gonna do that, that's great, but like, we need to like have that in play like
Yeah.
now.
Right.
And like have like a system that this is a every year thing
Yes.
that they do.
And this is the
We don't
time,
need to
and
be
this is what they're
scrambling.
doing. I
Because
agree.
when free work comes with a
What
price.
we can do is speak to the university
Yeah.
and go to the Greek office.
Yeah.
Instead of making it on one fraternity or
Yeah.
sorority, let the Greek office rotate it and have one fraternity and one sorority each year. Take turns being the.
Can we get a commitment from them that they'll give us so many people?
We need to check with Panalytic, because I don't know that FIMU would do it.
I don't think no offense, because I'm a woman, I don't think we want girls. We need strong
need guys.
Yeah, but
men.
there might be some other
I
things
think-
for
I
girls
think-
to do.
Well, I think there could be,
It could be used
because
for
we
girls to,
do,
things to do.
we can use help like doing things like opening the barrack. If we, depending on how, like where they could have been used this year is like as backup
Obviously,
for.
women can
Right.
do it.
Okay,
I mean,
but
yeah,
let
we
me,
did, but yeah.
yeah.
let me just
Women
loop
did
back in here being a Panalytic woman. Most sororities are only going to do that for nonprofits, period, okay? That's just how it works, and DDD is not a nonprofit. A lot of the fraternities will do service work for.
'Cause they need to get the
Yes,
hours.
they need the hours. The girls have preset
Yeah, philanthropy.
philanthropies already in stone, and it's very, very, very by the bylaws, like they don't defer.
I think
any
we
of
could
that.
get the
Yeah.
fraternity guys to do it.
Because, I mean, honestly, Chance, like the stuff we were struggling with were brand-new pop-up tents we couldn't get up. Like, I didn't have the height to do it, even though I'm tall.
These fraternities, trust me.
Yeah.
There's gonna be one of them that's in trouble, that's gonna need all the hours. And as soon as that one's not in trouble.
Somebody else
The
is.
next one's will be.
But I agree with John that we need to have something written, and that
We need-
this is the time, these are the tasks,
We
this
get
many
their
people in this
Yeah, their
location.
advisors are enrolled. This is
Yeah.
like they take it serious.
Right,
There's an
right.
outline of
No.
exactly what has to happen, yeah.
We can get with the fraternities.
Okay.
That's who we need to reach out to. That's, even if they
Yeah,
get,
I agree agree. I was gonna say, one of the challenges with Volunteers for Hot August is that it's like right when school comes back. So trying to get one of them lined up, if we want to do it before the end of the spring semester. Because even for trying to coordinate with Southeastern in general for Lions Palooza, even with the athletics department, like schedules are all over the place because they're not in the school session.
School's in for
I
Hot
would
August.
appreciate any
Yeah.
help in, I guess, connecting specifically with the fraternities. Another option, which I did explore loosely with so George McLaughlin was the marketing director for SLU Athletics, but he actually left between the first time we talked about it last August and me getting an email from somebody who wasn't there anymore. So potentially having some of the athletic teams help, because not all of them come out to Lions Palooza, but either way, I think we need to have people, like, they need to know the date in May and April, and we need to have that help lined up in order to really get them there. So any connections that people have with that.
Well, I like the idea if you put it in the fraternities' hands and just say every year we need this many people and this is the job tasks, and just if they can make a commitment of some kind to be that group of people that does that, and it becomes a habit, that would be
get
nice.
good
You're not
advertising.
reinventing the wheel, you know?
You get good advertisement.
So what can we give them? Can we give them some type of, you know, I guess, yeah, what can we give them? We promote them on our
Shout out
website?
to-
Yeah, they can
Shout
get a
out to
special thank you
fraternity
on
for
social
helping.
media, yeah, whoever it is.
And trust me, once one of them gets credit, the other ones are gonna want it.
Right. Michelle, do we want to bring up another suggestion of maybe moving that date so it's not falling on the same week of, didn't we talk about that a little bit yesterday?
Yeah, so it may have happened in years past, but last year it didn't. Basically, every year I've been involved, I don't think it's lined up this way. But this year, Hot August fell on the same weekend, the same week that school came back into session, the university came back into session. And it, at least from HPD's standpoint, they felt like that was kind of something that we would want to keep in mind, just in terms of the calendar. Historically, it has been that the Saturday after school comes back into session, just so students have like a week to kind of settle in, and the first weekend that they come back anyway, downtown is usually pretty busy with the bar scene. So I think it's just like a calendar consideration. Laura Municcio is on our marketing committee, and she did say that she's on the calendar committee for Southeastern. So I think that we were able to kind of coordinate that. I don't know how much it made a difference, but it would seem to me that we would just want to keep that in mind. So thank you for bringing that up, Kayla.
Like even if it moved a week, because I mean, then you got to be careful you're not hitting on the first home game for football, which is usually about 2 weeks after school starts. So, you know, that can change too, though.
Or Labor Day weekends, because
Yeah.
because it's usually the Saturday before Labor Day weekend.
I'm gonna be out of town Labor Day weekend every year. Get back.
As our most,
Right.
so we're trying to
We don't want
avoid
to
that.
put the event on Labor Day weekends. I do want to just share, I did include the total event budget in your packet. In terms of hard expenses for the event, we are around 32,000 in expenses. I did go ahead and calculate our total in-kind contribution from our sponsors and our volunteer value. Additionally, all the HPD officers, that is an overtime budget that the city council basically allows that is subsidized by the city. So that is included on there as well. So the in-kind expenses are around 30,000. And then estimating our staff time is around 13,000. So when we really look at the total event production expense for Hot August, it costs about $75,000 to put this on. Our actual revenue that we brought in this year is a little over 30,000. So this does include us paying the towing fee that HPD has access to pay, which we have not paid yet, but have not executed that payment yet. But either way you look at it, it is an event that we might have used spending money on, just in terms of hard costs. So I just want everyone to be aware of kind of how the budget is kind of sitting for the event. This doesn't change too much. There are a couple of one-time
So
expenses
we're in the
there
hole that
because we
much,
did
basically?
Update the brand and logo for Hot August. So in terms of marketing collateral for the event, there's probably maybe $3,000 worth of permanent marketing that we'll use that we won't have to purchase from year to year. But both of these expenses are recurring every year to host the event at this scale. So I just want everyone to keep that in mind and happy to answer.
In the past, is this about what it runs at this, or we usually do better, worse, or is this about the same, or what?
Well, so for the past 2 years, we've partnered with the Art Center on the wine and cheese roll. So really, we have spent more on the event in the past because we did not have that as a revenue item. Hot August generally doesn't generate revenue. It generally breaks even, or we might have changed a little bit for it. When I do look at the revenue, I mean, there's certainly some areas that we could improve on in terms of sponsorships. But I mean, we sold a total of, I can't quite remember the number off the top of my head, but over 60 vendor booths. We maxed out on our ticket sales for the wine and cheese roll. We can only sell as many as we have products out there. So as many businesses that we have participating, we have to do that math to make sure that we're not overselling those tickets and having unsatisfied participants in that event and having businesses that have to handle frustrated people.
Did we get any feedback on, I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but did we get any feedback on, there was a lot of, like, I know that my office did have like probably a case of wine left. Did we get any feedback on how that went? Like if there could be more? Do we know?
Like Kayla said yesterday, Paris Parker ran out of wine at
At 7 o'clock, yeah, we locked the doors
So
at 7.
it just depended on
Where you were.
locations. We had Blue RX complain about not having a lot of people due to their location on the map and stuff like that. And,
Yeah.
I think
but
it was a lot of self-marketing too, like, so what were you doing? Like Paris Parker had Yellow Van doing flower crowns. They've never done as many free flower crowns, like they were free. They were like putting tassel braids in girls' hair. So we had a lot of young people coming through there and it was just like constant.
Yeah, okay.
So we only had one sponsor, one financial sponsor?
Off the hook.
But all of the in-kind contributions, they're still considered sponsors. So, I mean, really the sponsorship values that we have is higher than that. But yes, in terms of actual cash.
Where, are the in-kind sponsorships listed somewhere?
They're on the side up at the top.
Oh, over here, I
Contributions.
see, I
City of
see.
Hammond HPD
Yeah.
tents from North Oaks
Gotcha.
and bottles of water donated and First Christian volunteering their time, things like that.
All right,
Right.
next.
We'll move on.
Okay,
This-
approve the nomination of Katie Taylor to Farmers Market Committee Community Seat.
So they had,
So we had one
sorry, I was just pulling up the email thread that you had put in here, but continue.
Yeah, so we received one nomination to hold the community seat on the Farmers Market Committee. Katie Taylor, probably a familiar name to all of you. She was a previous employee of CDB about 2 years ago. Katie is a lover of downtown. She's a lover of the farmers market. She has a small influencer social media following. She's done food demos for the market since she works at S&W now. So we've worked with her on a volunteer basis. She's generally willing to lend a hand where she can and support where she can too. So with that being the only nomination
Committee.
that we have,
Committee seat?
we think she's a great
Yeah,
fit
we need a,
for it.
we need
So-
a president. It's just,
I'd like to make a motion,
Approve Katie
Oh,
Taylor for the
yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we approve Katie Taylor for the Farmers Market Committee seat.
second.
Okay.
Yes.
We're all like,
He said
you don't
yes.
deserve to
Todd DeLon, Chance Kinchin,
Yes.
Mary Keaton,
Yes.
Kayla Morgan.
Yes.
John Exnicious.
yes.
All right.
Okay, discussion of recruitment of open board seats.
I still can't find anybody.
Yep, same.
You know, the only person I can think about, and she'd probably, I haven't spoken to her, but my child's mother would be excellent at it, but I don't know if she has time for it. I haven't mentioned it to her. I know she's on maybe the events committee.
She is, she's on our event.
She is a
She is
whiz. She's a whiz. She's awesome. She's organized. I don't know if she has time to do it. Also, it would be very counterproductive because we both can't be at the meeting at the same time if we have a child.
Yeah, then that probably.
Well, then I would.
So then what do you even suggest?
Great suggestion.
I'm just saying.
No, but I was thinking about,
No, I
is there
agree.
somebody else on that committee besides Devin that would identify as somebody who could be great for that? I thought about,
If we really wanted somebody opinionated to be a different voice, Jose. But
I
it
do
would-
just want to make sure that everyone is aware of the eligibility criteria.
Right.
So a board member has to own a business or own properties in the district. So it can actually, it's like a very small group of people that is eligible to serve on our board. So I just want everyone to keep that in mind as we think about potential candidates.
Okay, all right, and I think we're
yeah,
wrap it up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think it just wrapped
to
up.
be continued.
Chance is currently
So,
working out. so-
any other announcements?
Wait, what? You have to go to the emergency room?
I have to go get food. My girlfriend's dad's.
Oh. Oh,
Oh, no.
I'm so sorry. Do what you gotta do.
The only, okay, I don't know what's happening, but the only thing I'll just say, I know you're wrapping up, but related to the board nominations, we basically will have our 3 normal seats that are up for renomination. That's the west side seat, the mayor appointed seat, and the chamber appointed seat. Those are going to be up for renomination at the end of this year, and we have the east side seat, chamber and mayor. And then the west side seat and the other largest assessed property seat, those are all going to open at the same time. So it's just going to be easiest to probably group all of them together, because by the time I get all the documentation in and everything and get on the agenda for council appointments, it would be happening either way. So if you're currently serving in those seats, just know that your renomination is going to be coming up, but having those 2 seats.
Yes, yeah, real quick, Michelle, yeah, got it. Michelle, real quick, did we at some point discuss staggering this out so that this did not happen, or was that for something else? That might have been my other committee.
Did we discuss what?
No, we never did. That everything doesn't come, did we ever discuss staggering these dates out so that we're not hit with everybody comes up for nomination at the same point? Because if a bunch of people leave, then you're left in a mess. Did we ever discuss that?
Well, I think my seat, isn't mine one of those that's coming up because wasn't I taking over Kaylee's?
Yeah, you were like yeah, yours.
What, was I?
Yes. You were taking the remainder of the time.
Wait, no, I don't know about that.
I don't think I was. Right,
I would need to go back and look at everything. So the normal seats that are up for nomination, regardless of the open positions, are chamber, mayor, and east side. I personally think that we need to change all board nominations to align with our fiscal year. That would make things a lot easier. But the way the things have
But what
written is we have 3 that are on off year and then 4 that are on an even year.
Well, what I'm saying is the issue is if you get a bunch of people leaving at one time, then you have a fallout. Whereas if it's not at the same, then you have the ability to not have everybody leave. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, I understand, I guess,
So I'm not
what would we can think about another option for that, but, I mean, the only really way to kind of circumvent that is by extending the term, because it's 2-year term.
Or you could extend, well, you would extend half the terms by 1 year, and then it would go back to the 2-year, then it would be staggered.
Yeah.
And it would be half and half, every other year, or whatever. It wouldn't all come due at the
Right.
same time.
Yeah. I just think it's better for not everybody to be due at the same
Not have
time.
a transition of all of it at the same time.
Yeah. But that can be continued, I guess. Is there anything else we need to talk about?
y'all have like two conversations going on, so we're having a hard time following.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I forget that you're right
Sorry.
here.
All right, I think
We were trying to figure out what was what.
okay.
Kayla, I don't think that you were.
Mine are not- no, it's not me.
That
It's-
Haley, yeah.
It's Mary's.
But.
Mary?
right,
No,
so,
I would have fill
Lisa,
somebody's seat.
Sam,
Mary's.
Todd, and Mary are up for renomination.
Yeah.
And then we have the two empty seats, which would just be a year appointment. It would just be a year appointment.
I have some ideas on the events committee. I'll email you, Michelle, and I'll kind of mention them to John and Mary too,
What does this have to do with?
Okay.
for the events.
Oh. The board member?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
well, whoever would take over
Yeah.
the committee too.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Wrap it up.
All right.
I'm adjourning.
Thanks, everyone.
Any announcements? Nothing?
No.
Adjourn it.
announcements, No.
Turn it.
All right, bye, Michelle.
Meeting adjourned.
Next Saturday, buy your tickets if you want to go to the theater.
Wait, what?
Oh,